Okay, I think we're live. So welcome everybody. I'm Arturo. I'm the Chief Data Officer at Civitatis. Today we have a great panel, I think, to explore how AI is driving tangible change, which is what we're trying to discuss here today. So anything from traveler discovery to how marketplaces and teams operate at scale is fair game today. We only have 20 minutes for such an interesting panel, so let's go straight to it. I'll ask Kristin, Anna, and Jan to introduce themselves very quickly. Just name, company, and which part of the travel you operate.
Thanks, Arturo. I'm Kristin Dorsett. I'm COO at Viator, the world's largest travel marketplace with over 400,000 experiences from around 65,000 operators. And I look after kind of the whole marketplace, but specifically we're looking at tours, activities, attractions, and selling direct to consumers as well as through B2B channels.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Grigoryan. I am the Managing Director of Mobilities and Experiences Division in HBX Group, which is also a large travel provider. So my role is to lead probably one of the most dynamic areas of the business and everything that goes beyond accommodation at this point. And that includes car rentals, transfers, theme parks, tours, attractions, and basically everything that turns the trip into something memorable.
Thanks, Anna. I'm Jan Thomas, Chief Product and Technology Officer for Bookingkit, a leading European booking system for attractions, tours, and activities. And we're a channel manager, so we let suppliers manage their activity across platforms such as Viator. And we're looking at AI from the angle of how suppliers can best operate across many different distribution channels.
Super interesting. As a warm-up, we know, all of us, AI is reshaping how travelers discover and book experiences. Just one sentence, a quick warm-up. What does AI enable your platforms to do today that wasn't possible maybe a couple years ago? Jan, you want to start?
Sure. For us as a channel manager, I would say that AI enables us to leverage all the data that we collect across the suppliers and marketplaces that we connect on our platform in ways that we couldn't before. That's both when it comes to finding patterns in the data, but it's also how we can package up this data into useful and ideally actionable insights.
So perhaps I go next. At the scale of HBX Group for us, and I include all the company in this, embedding AI across actually our systems, we've transformed the challenge for us of managing billions of searches daily that we have, and obviously the customer cases that come into something more streamlined, where our agents basically get the insights and the help in how to actually provide more, let's say, quality service, faster answers, but still keep the human connection at scale.
Awesome. And so my answer is more about generative AI specifically. And I think where it's really been unlocked for us is around understanding the words, like not just parsing the words, but actually understanding the words and the intent has really unlocked our ability, both on the customer side to match them with the right product, because we have better understanding of the intent, but also internally. How do we, the thousands of documents we have, thousands of data points that we had, how do we parse them and really understand them? And then do something with it. Just many unlocks across the business.
Yeah, I agree. I think understanding text and as marketplaces and in a so fragmented industry, I think is with lots of nuances, it's become extremely valuable. And it's probably this AI capability now embedded across multiple functions, where you can tell us you have find an application that has the most business impact for you so far. And especially, I guess, when speaking about these applications, there's always this dichotomy, let's say, or this way to have the applications into we will use it only, but only for internal use cases, or do we feel ready to use it on customer-facing cases? If you can share with us the biggest impact application and whether it was internal or external.
Sure, I'll go first. So we're, experimenting with AI, specifically LLMs, across every function within our business. But I would say definitely the most quantifiable wins have come from our customer-facing product. And again, using AI to better understand what a customer is searching for. So an example of something, so if a customer dessert tours in Boston, 2 years ago, our search would have been comically coarse and just looked for the words dessert tours in Boston. And if those words were not there, we probably didn't find them anything. Whereas now our search is smart enough to understand dessert could mean cannoli. It could mean donuts. Maybe a coffee tour might be relevant. And so we're just getting a lot smarter and understanding what our customers want and the 400,000 products in our inventory to better match them. And on the battle between internal and external, I would say we're definitely cautious about putting anything in front of customers until we feel pretty good in how it is. So in our customer service applications, for example, we have a lot of internal tools that we've built to help agents make better recommendations, next best action, but we haven't yet put it into the customer-facing products because we don't think it's quite there yet. And we don't want to do anything that risks a customer's money.
I see you agreeing, Anna. Do you agree? Is that also what you're saying at HBX?
Absolutely. My favorite is also customer-facing part, because I do believe that the biggest opportunity is actually there. Obviously, there's a lot of efficiencies, and as a company, we started around efficiencies, automation, and everything. We do have now quite a few things running on those autonomous systems, but we're also experimenting around the customer-facing part. And I think for us so far, what has been very helpful is the creation of localized experiences. And as a B2B sort of company, it's very important for us to understand the relevance of what we are actually proposing to our B2B clients than to propose to a traveler. And this is where the data comes in, where we can understand the context, the language, even the cultural nuance, and help the systems to scale at their hyper-personalization, if I might say so. I think there is still a lot to investigate, at least from our side, and we're actually exploring many use cases. As Kristin said, we don't put anything out there until we are actually sure it works. But this is where I believe the biggest opportunity is. And this is what, in combination probably with some efficiencies, is still going to end up with strengthening loyalty and driving growth.
Thanks, Anna and Kristin. I would say we have a slightly different angle because we work a little bit more behind the scenes in enabling our suppliers. And so for us, the focus has also been on the features that enable a supplier to optimize their sales. So this could include questions like which marketplace should they even pick in the first place when they onboard with us, or where is their unleveraged potential that we can extrapolate from what we see other suppliers do on the platform. Or how they should optimize their inventory, for example, from an availability planning perspective. We, in the balance between what do we do internally and what do we publish, very much siding with Kristin and Anna there. We are talking about ticket sales here, so we need to be exact, and the impact of wrong decisions can be huge. So we definitely think there's still a long road ahead until we come to tools that can really fully autonomously analyze and optimize in a reliable way. You can really get to a demo very quickly, but then to make it work consistently is very hard. Nonetheless, we're making progress on this, and there's two practices that I thought I can share that help us. One really is let AI make suggestions, but always have a human in the loop. It also came through in what the others said. They can review, they can correct before anything is actually applied. And that way you can capture the things where something needed to be adjusted. And at some point you can use this reinforcement loop to fully automate. And on the other hand, we also heavily lean into having our internal teams be the first users. And that really helps because you can start testing it and applying things manually on your real business. You will find a surprising amount of issues just due to the unpredictable nature of AI. But nonetheless, you can start moving and learn and already see some impact at the same time.
Yeah, I think this brings us to another topic. I think it's interesting to discuss, which is, on the one hand, we're pushing AI and LLMs into the industry, but we run quite large organizations ourselves. I have a question for you, which is, how has AI changed actually the work that our teams do? How the company, the different teams do? What's now faster, or um, even from whatever, like code development to some internal functions? How are you seeing the implementation of this within your teams?
I'll start this time. Thank you. And I think we all probably know for some tasks, AI has a complete game changer, anything that involves writing, obviously. And personally, I'm very happy that we don't spend time manually writing meeting notes anymore. But as I'm inside, writing code is also a form of writing, and we do see increasing efficiencies there in our development teams, albeit slowly. And that's because most of us are making changes to a complex existing platform, and that's a much harder task for AI to fully take care of autonomously compared to building something that's new and standalone on its own. What I'd say has been interesting for us here is to see how what's possible keeps shifting quite quickly. So, something that didn't work when you tried it 3 months ago might all of a sudden be possible today. So the approach that we had to change is that we actually come back to the same questions or problems from time to time whenever the underlying AI capabilities have changed, because we see a shift that's faster than anything we've seen before. And another effect that we see in this internal use is that the gains from AI are shifting bottlenecks. So because you apply it across the business, and things that previously might have been your bottleneck, so for example, the development capacity, will shift somewhere else. So now that we might, in some cases, launch features faster, the bottleneck problem just shifts to the next problem of how do you now actually understand what happened with the changes that you launched? What are the insights that lead you to deciding your next step? And that's much harder problem to solve, whether with AI or without. So we see a lot of impact, but it also creates new problems or just shifts the problem elsewhere.
I would probably very much concur with what Jan just said. And I think in every function, there is a use case of this, and the ways of working actually shifting very much because of it. From how we shifted, we obviously started with low, easy tasks, let's say repetitive tasks, which now are automated. Just to give another example, we have an AI virtual trainer for our customer service agents, who's basically real-time training them on how to reply to clients, what to say, accurate data, etc., how to get that. What I like about it is not just transactional, there's an element of empathy included. So it's basically comes up with some relational recommendations as well. And beyond that, it's obviously the recommendation engine in some of our channels, specifically retail channels, where we're trying to leverage the positioning, the recommendations, the upselling capabilities of AI, and obviously learn from it, because as Jan said, something gets solved, but some other things come up that we need to solve for.
All right, so very similar themes to Jan and Anna. I mean, we had a bunch of early adopters of these tools, as you always have. And so what we've been trying to do is, how do we harness the power of these early adopters and get the middle adopters and the laggards on board with things? So we actually created a very small AI enablement team just to try to wrangle all the things that are going on, all the tools that are available, which teams are doing POCs with what, and then share it out. And so they do different learning sessions. We're big on Google tools. What gyms they've built, which are just little AI tools you could build in Google. And it's been really, really effective of just teams saying, this team over here is building something to do lead qualification. And oh, wait, well, I have a similar problem over here. How do I leverage similar technology to what they've done? And so we've had very much a bottoms-up approach to getting people to adopt the tools. And we've had a lot of success with it. I mean, we also are doing some things tops down. I mean, in engineering especially, we're really focused on our developer experience and how do we build these AI tools into our agent or into our engineer workflow so that it's seamless for their day-to-day and they're not having to go outside of their regular workflow to use these tools. And it's still a work in progress. And again, the tools of the day change from month to month of what the better tool is. But our approach is to be adaptive and very much let these technologies be the one really to push them through the organization.
Yeah, I agree. I think from my organizational standpoint, and getting this right and making sure that everybody gets up to date, not only the early adopters, let's say, and so that we're able to transition at scale from MVP to actually incorporating it into the product and having everybody access these superpowers is really important. We're very close to the end, so we could go on with this conversation for 4 hours, but I'm going to ask you to finish with a prediction, an AI enabled or human enabled better prediction, which is something that excites you, something that you believe we will be able to offer to the customers to make our service different in the, I don't know, let's say in 1 year. Basically, I want you to complete AI will make travel marketplaces, blah blah blah. Also, what's the next evolution from a user experience that travel marketplaces will allow consumers to experiment? Maybe Anna, you can start this time.
I can start. No worries. So I think for me, the most exciting piece to watch is the evolution of how AI is balancing automation with humanity. And why I'm saying this is because travel is a very deeply human experience. It's all about connections, memories, etc. And whilst the technology is there, it's still the connection and the memories and everything that matters. So what we're seeing is the move from efficiency into a technology that basically is amplifying this emotional connection. So that's very, very interesting for me personally. And to finish probably the sentence is I believe that AI will make travel marketplaces probably more human and deeply personal, because the real challenge is not just automating things, it's how do we amplify the understanding and connection, as I said.
I'll go next. I love that answer, Anna.
Thank you.
I mean, travel is so personal and it is so human, and that's all got to make sure we keep in the age of AI.
Absolutely.
So I agree with all of that, and I also think, I mean, personalization and the ability to match customers with the right product for them is going to get easier than ever, and taking friction out of the whole customer journey is going to get easier than ever. And I think that we've come a long way in helping solve that problem, but we still have a long way to go within tours and activities. And so I look forward to what AI will enable us all to do.
Thanks, both of you. I totally see both of your points, but I'm going to give the German robot answer from a behind-the-scenes angle of how suppliers can use the marketplaces, where I think really the automation and the ability to work with marketplaces for a supplier will just really get so much easier than it has ever been. We're going to slowly but surely see increasing levels of automation to many of the steps that are currently still manual in the process of getting your offers live, managing and moderating the ongoing process. So I think this will, over time, and I'm pretty sure with agentic capabilities, we'll see steps in the next 1 to 2 years that will make big differences for a supplier and how to manage across marketplaces.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Anna, Kristin, and Jan. And I think it's so inspiring and refreshing to end with this vision of AI allowing us to transform travel into even more personalized and connected to humans, and not just this machine dominance vision, but rather the ability to connect better with the experiences that customers expect to discover. And we've heard in this session how AI is, I think it's quite factual. It's only 20 minutes, but hopefully you've got a flavor on what big companies in the space are doing to implement it, how from the applications standpoint, but also from how teams are getting to work. This is only getting started, so expect massive capitalization of learning how to use these tools in the coming months and years. I hope this has been interesting for you. Thank you all for participating. I've read the chat. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to go through the questions. But thank you and see you soon.